Have you ever wondered how the Titanic, the world's greatest ship, was brought to life? Our journey begins in the early 20th century in a bustling shipyard in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Here, the Harland and Wolff Company undertook the monumental task of constructing the Titanic under the ambitious White Star Line banner. The year was 1909, and the world was on the brink of a new era. The Titanic was conceptualized as the embodiment of this optimism and progress. Why build such a colossal ship, you might ask? The answer lies in the spirit of the age. The Industrial Revolution had transformed societies across the globe, and the Titanic was a testament to human capability and technological advancement. It was to be the largest moving object ever made by man, a statement of power and prestige. The Titanic was not just about size, though. She was designed to be the epitome of luxury and comfort. Her opulent interiors were to rival the grandest hotels of the time. From plush carpets to ornate chandeliers, the Titanic promised a voyage like no other. She was to be a floating palace, offering the ultimate in elegance and convenience to her passengers. The Titanic's construction was a mammoth task, taking around 3 years to complete. Over 15,000 men toiled day and night, pouring their collective skills and sweat into the creation of this magnificent vessel. The Titanic was not just a ship, she was a symbol of human ambition and technological prowess. The Titanic was launched with much fanfare in 1911, her massive hull sliding into the waters of the River Lagan. She was a marvel to behold, a testament to what man could achieve. Yet, as we all know, her maiden voyage would also be her last. Thus, Titanic was not just a ship, but a symbol of human ambition and technological prowess. April 10, 1912, the Titanic embarked on its maiden voyage, a journey that was destined to be its last. The air was thick with anticipation as over 2,000 passengers boarded the grand vessel. Among them were some of the wealthiest people of the time, drawn by the allure of the Titanic's unparalleled luxury. Its first-class accommodations boasted of opulent features never before seen on a ship: grand staircases, a gymnasium, a swimming pool, and even a Turkish bath. But the Titanic wasn't just a playground for the rich and famous. Many of its passengers were immigrants, people from all walks of life, drawn from every corner of Europe. They were chasing the American dream, hoping for a fresh start in a new land. For them, the Titanic was a symbol of hope, a beacon of opportunity, the first step towards a brighter future. Everyone on board was excited. A sense of optimism filled the air as the Titanic, described as unsinkable, was set to redefine maritime travel. As the ship pulled out of the harbor, its gargantuan size and majestic beauty awed onlookers. The Titanic was a masterpiece of engineering, a testament to human ingenuity, and everyone aboard felt a sense of pride and awe. As the ship sailed into the open sea, passengers reveled in the grandeur of the Titanic. The wealthy dined in the ship's extravagant restaurants, sipped champagne in its elegant bars, and danced in its grand ballroom. Meanwhile, the less affluent passengers found joy in simpler pleasures, shared meals, laughter, and stories of their dreams for the future. But beneath the surface of excitement and joy, there was a sense of unease. After all, the Titanic was pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. It was a giant among ships, a titan of the seas, and as it sailed further from the safety of the shore, the unknown loomed large. Little did these passengers know their dream voyage was about to turn into a nightmare. The Titanic, deemed unsinkable, met its match in the form of a massive iceberg on April 14, 1912. Imagine the scene. It's a clear, cold night. The ocean, calm as glass. Suddenly, a lookout in the crow's nest spots a gigantic iceberg directly in the ship's path. The alarm bell rings out, its echoes shattering the serenity of the night. In an attempt to avert disaster, the ship's wheel is turned hard to port, but it's too late. The Titanic, a marvel of human engineering, collides with the iceberg. The impact is less a dramatic crash and more an ominous graze, a seemingly minor incident that would spell doom for the grand vessel. In the immediate aftermath, the ship appears to be fine. It's still moving, the lights are still on, and many passengers are blissfully unaware of what just transpired. But below deck, the reality is far more grim. The iceberg's jagged underwater spur had punctured the Titanic's hull, breaching 5 of its supposedly watertight compartments. This was a fatal flaw in the ship's design. The Titanic was built to stay afloat, with up to 4 compartments flooded, but 5 was beyond its capacity. As water pours into the lower levels, the ship begins to tilt. The realization of the impending doom slowly creeps in. Another glaring oversight was the lack of lifeboats. The Titanic, in all its grandeur, was equipped with only 20 lifeboats, enough for less than half of the over 2,000 passengers on board. A chilling testament to the hubris of the ship's creators, who believed they had built an unsinkable ship. In the grand dining rooms, the music plays on. In the staterooms, the wealthy sip champagne, oblivious to the danger. Below decks, the crew scrambles to lower the lifeboats, their faces etched with fear. The unsinkable ship was now on a fatal course. The countdown to disaster had begun. In the early hours of April 15th, 1912, the Titanic began its descent into the icy depths of the Atlantic. A scene of unimaginable chaos unfolded as the reality of the situation dawned on the ship's passengers and crew. The unsinkable ship was sinking, and there weren't enough lifeboats for everyone on board. As the ship tilted dangerously, people scurried in fear, desperately seeking a way to survive. The ship's orchestra, in a poignant display of courage, continued to play, hoping to keep the passengers calm amid the pandemonium. It was a night filled with countless acts of bravery, sacrifice, and heartbreak. While some passengers managed to secure a place on the lifeboats, many others weren't so fortunate. The ship's women and children first policy meant many men were left on board as the ship plunged further into the sea. The heartbreaking part is that many of the lifeboats launched were not filled to capacity, a tragic oversight in the midst of chaos. Among the notable stories of heroism, we remember the ship's captain, Edward Smith, who went down with his ship, and Thomas Andrews, the ship's architect, who helped many passengers to the lifeboats but didn't survive himself. There were also tales of sacrifice, like that of Ida Strauss, who chose to stay with her husband Isidore rather than board a lifeboat without him. However, amidst the tragedy, there were sparks of hope. Lifeboat number 14, under the command of 5th Officer Harold Lowe, returned to the wreck site once the ship had sunk, rescuing a handful of people from the freezing water. Yet, as the final screams and cries faded into the eerie silence of the night, it was clear that the Titanic was no more. In less than 3 hours, the Titanic had disappeared beneath the waves, taking with it more than 1,500 lives. The world's greatest ship had met a tragic end, leaving behind a legacy that would echo through the corridors of history forever. The sinking of the Titanic left a profound impact on the world, leading to significant changes in maritime safety regulations. The aftermath was not just about mourning the loss of over 1,500 lives, but also about learning from the disaster and taking steps to prevent such a tragedy from happening again. In the wake of the disaster, investigations were launched to understand the causes of the sinking. These inquiries revealed crucial flaws in the ship's design and safety measures, prompting a major overhaul in maritime laws. The International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, or SOLAS, was established in 1919, just 7 years after the Titanic's tragic end. SOLAS introduced new safety measures, including adequate lifeboats for all passengers and crew, regular lifeboat drills, and the establishment of the International Ice Patrol to monitor iceberg threats in the North Atlantic, the very route where Titanic met her doom. The Titanic's tale didn't end there. In 1985, the ship's wreck was discovered more than 2 miles beneath the ocean's surface. The discovery brought the Titanic back into the global spotlight and sparked intense interest in preserving the wreck site. Today, the Titanic lies at the bottom of the North Atlantic, a haunting reminder of the disaster. Preservation efforts are ongoing, with organizations and scientists working tirelessly to protect the site from further decay and looting. These efforts aim to honor the memory of those who perished and to ensure the Titanic continues to serve as a symbol of the past, a testament to human ambition and its limits. The Titanic, once a symbol of human ambition, now serves as a stark reminder of our vulnerability in the face of nature's might. It's a story of a ship that was built to be unsinkable, yet it sunk on its maiden voyage. It's a story that reminds us of the power of nature and the importance of respect for its forces. And it's a story that, over a century later, still captivates and educates us about the need for continual vigilance and respect for the sea.